name's Gabby Coward, and my historical analysis is focused on the painting called The Virgin of Vladimir. This painting was believed to have been painted by St. Luke, who reproduced what he had seen in a vision and was one of his original paintings. The painting was created in the 12th century in Constantinople and was moved around to different places several different times. After it was created, it was brought to Kiev sometime in the 1130s. It was then taken to the city of Suzdal and then went on to Vladimir in 1155. In about 1480, it was moved to the Cathedral of Dormition in the Moscow Kremlin. The two figures in this painting are Mary and the Christ child Jesus. The painting depicts the two of them pressing their cheeks together and gazing at each other. There have been several different theologians who have commented on the painting, which brought attention to the symbology and the religious sentiments that the painting aspires. One theologian named Henry Nouwen said that the Virgin's eyes glance at neither the child or the viewer, but appear to look inward and outward at once, and that her free hand gestures towards the baby to open a space for us as viewers to approach Jesus without fear. Nouwen also said that the child is shown as a wise man dressed in adult clothes. A literary scholar named Avrantsev, not sure of the pronunciation of that, but he acknowledged the mix of the maternal tenderness and sorrow that can be seen in Mary's expression, and he interpreted this as a representation of the emotions generated by the events of Nativity and Calvary. The artistic quality of this painting has also been praised by several different art historians. One art historian named David Talbot Rice believed that this painting was one of the most outstanding religious paintings in the world. Another art historian named George Hurd Hamilton praised the painting's craftsmanship and conception, and he notes how in its representation of the subject's faces, the icon subtly transitions from its normal use of contour lines to a refined surface texture. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the background from when this painting was created. The painting was created during the time period of what is known as the Middle Byzantine period. The Middle Byzantine period was during the time where Constantinople's scope was reduced to present-day Turkey and other areas of the Black Sea, as well as the Balkan Peninsula, which included Greece and southern Italy. The influence of the Byzantine culture also extended into Russia and the Ukraine, and into Venice, which was Constantinople's trading partner in northeastern Italy. This period began in 843, when an empress named Theodora reinstated the veneration of icons. This continued until about 1204, when Christian crusaders from Western Europe occupied Constantinople. As the Middle Byzantine period developed, the geography of Byzantine art changed significantly in several different ways because Byzantine artists and patrons turned more towards projects of restoration and renewal. They produced new icons in a variety of media for the devotional practices of faith. This painting is a great example of the growing desire for a more immediate and personal religion. When the painting was moved to Moscow, it was thought to be able to protect the people in this city from invaders. So the two figures in the painting are Mary and the Christ child Jesus. The painting depicts the two of them pressing their cheeks together and gazing at each other in a pretty tenderly and affectionate way. Mary is also seen gesturing to the child while looking out to the viewer. This depiction has been thought to be an acknowledgement of Christ's sacrifice for humankind. This makes sense to me because what Christ did for us as humans was incredible and a huge sacrifice, and it's almost as if in this painting, Mary wants this to be acknowledged by everyone. I think that by the way she's holding him close to her shows just how important he is, and the way that her eyes are gazing out can be seen as an attempt by her to catch the attention from others and to bring awareness to what Christ did. So in the painting, you can clearly see Mary's compassion to the infant, and because of this tender attachment depicted between the mother and child in the painting, this painting has been classed as an Elusa icon. An Elusa icon is basically just a depiction of the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ as an infant who is seen nestled against her chest. The painting also depicts Jesus' bare feet. It's a little bit hard to see in the painting because it is so damaged, but if you look closely at the bottom, you can see that Jesus' feet are bare and that there's nothing on it. His bare feet symbolize his physical reality. The gold garments that he's wearing in the painting also symbolizes that he is the kingdom of heaven. And then on Mary's dress, you can see that there are three stars, but you can only see two because Jesus is covering one of them. These stars symbolizes her virginity before, during, and after her son's birth. So this painting is a tempera painting on a wooden panel, which is called an icon. Its height is approximately 31 inches. In the beginning process of the creation of this painting, the ground was covered with a hard foundation of white gesso and then was polished when it was dry. It was then painted in vivid colors, which was dissolved in egg yolk, which is just a technique called tempera. The faces and hands of the figures were painted with a greenish olive sancer, which is a dark color that creates shadows on the skin after highlighting is done, and a mix of ochre pigment, which is an earthly color. The child's face is painted in a lighter shade than the mother's face, which helps to reflect the difference in their ages. When the painting was completely dry, a coat of dark varnish was applied. I believe that this painting is an effective piece of work because it shows the compassion that Mary is showing by the way she is holding him and the way their heads are positioned against each other. It's pretty intimate and affectionate, and it also shows the importance of Christ based on the grip that she has on him while holding him, and also through her gaze, which is what I talked about in the previous slide. The painting is also painted in an artistic style that was pretty typical for art in the Middle Byzantine period, based on the physical features, such as the smaller mouths, which both of them have, refined eyes, and then elongated noses, which is how Mary's nose looks in this painting. And then the interplay of glances between the mother and child adds to the illusion of life in the piece of art because of the emotion behind it. And that's all for my project. Thank you so much for watching.